Babe, give us a little bit of a backstory. We both grew up in different churches. I grew up in a Baptist church where we never saw anything supernatural, but you grew up in the Dutch Reformed, which was way more hardcore and like lots of angry God vibes coming
hmm
out of the Dutch Reformed. What was that like for you?
Yeah, so I grew up in the Dutch Reformed Church, really, really conservative. And they believed that a lot of the spiritual gifts, like speaking in tongues, praying for miracles, that kind of thing, had passed away. And it wasn't for us. But right from young, when I would look at people, or even just when I was going about my day, I would have thoughts or yeah, just that still quiet voice inside me. And I had knowledge that I knew I shouldn't have. And I knew things about people that I knew I shouldn't know. And so it was never something that I talked to anybody about. I knew that it wasn't normal or it wasn't right for me to have that.
In their context,
And
it wasn't
in the
right.
context,
In the
yeah.
in the Reformed Church, it was she was having illegal thoughts, right? She was having
Yeah.
illegal intimacy and illegal encounters and this illegal awareness of the spirit realm, which they definitely didn't talk about, didn't
Mhm.
celebrate, and definitely had those strong illegal vibes, right?
Yeah, and so faith was really alive and vibrant. Reading my Bible was amazing. And it wasn't until I was about 16 when I was exposed to Christians from all walks of life through Christian camping that I realized there was sort of more. I mean, I knew there was more out there, but I didn't fully understand what was out there. Just speaking to other Christians and seeing how when they came to camp they worshipped and that kind of thing was crucial for me in a way to be able to sort of untangle the things that I'd seen and heard and understood my whole life. So that was really important for me. But then uh, through the spiritual abuse process, I went to uh, all that vibrancy was lost. So my Bible was no longer alive. It was really challenging to read. It was just dry and I knew what I was missing out on. And
Mm.
so it really was rubbing salt in the wound when you'd read a passage of the Bible and it was just like, there was nothing juicy to it. There was no light or life to it. And any spiritual giftings that I had were just completely switched off. Um, versus Benji, who you
Yeah, I mean,
go.
my normal day in that season was, several hours in prayer and then, be nothing to spend a whole day in like studying revival history and studying church history
Mhm.
and pouring myself out into, writing about theology and studying theology. I spent thousands and thousands of hours in prayer and Bible study and
Fasting,
yeah,
yeah.
and just in the pursuit of God. So I was in a totally
Mhm.
different space in this time. I was absolutely on fire. And man, did I just wish, right? I was like, oh God, it'd be so good. Because we're praying for people. We're seeing so many signs, wonders, and
Yeah.
miracles and visions and dreams and encounters breaking out everywhere. I'm just like, pray for other people. And they get the breakthrough, like mind-blowing breakthroughs. And then we're praying for Alana, and it just wasn't,
Wah, wah,
yeah,
wah.
nothing happened. It was just so for that season, it was really difficult for her. It was on fire
Mhm.
for me. Yeah. So it was actually in that season that I discovered sonship, and both of us have been on a massive transition out of religion and out of dead religion, and out of false images of God, broken images of our identity, disconnection with the Trinity, performance-based acceptance, all this condemnation and the orphan existence, right? We really both were entrenched in the orphan existence and came out of that. But it was in that season when Alana was really, really broken that I was actually having these massive life-shifting moments and discovering the Father and discovering sonship and discovering intimacy and oneness with the Trinity and discovering the divine dance. So that was the season for me where I was breaking out like crazy and I'm having all these breakthroughs. And it was a little bit for Alana like salt in the wound and a really hard season for her of just
Mhm.
dryness, but for me exploding with these just mind-blowing move of God in my life.